Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining me on this channel, Adults ESL Online Learning. I'm Dr. Hernandez Smith, and this video is a study guide to the Ventures Lesson A and Lesson B activities. Our agenda for today is to have a warm-up activity, then practice vocabulary from the unit at school, from Ventures, it's Unit 2 at school, and then a listening activity. We'll have an announcement, and then we will go into a grammar activity looking at how long, for, and since. This is the warm-up. Tell us about your country, hometown. Go ahead and think about your country and hometown and prepare to describe it. Tell us about it. For example, my hometown is Austin, Texas. It has changed a lot since I was a child. There is more of everything. I don't think the city officials or citizens were prepared for the growth. I can still enjoy some things that I did when I was a child, but a lot of what used to be is gone. In this activity, it's titled Student Interview, and that's what you'll do. You will ideally work in a group, ask the questions, write the number of students on the chart. The chart starts with do you. So under this column, we have the questions. Do you always finish reading a book you start? And then 2, 3, 4, all the way to 8. In the next column, we have number of students. Yes and no. Let's look at the first question. Do you always finish reading a book you start? Number of students said yes, 4. Number of students said no, 2. Okay, number 2. Do you always pronounce English words well? 1 under yes, 5 under no. Let's look at number 3. Do you study in a library? 4. Do you make lists of things to do? 5. Do you write vocabulary words on index cards? 6. Do you underline main ideas in your textbook? Textbooks. Number 7, do you concentrate when you read? And number 8, do you study English when you have free time? This is an example from one of my classes. Student interview A. This is the interview that they participated in. So for number 1, 5 answered no to do you always finish reading a book you start? 0 said yes, 5 said no. Number 2, do you pronounce English words well? 5 said no, 0 said yes. Number 3, Do you study in a library? 2 said yes. 3 said no. Number 4, do you make lists of things to do? 2 students said yes. 3 students said no. Number 5, do you write vocabulary words on index cards? 2 students said yes. 3 students said no. Number 6, do you underline main ideas in your textbooks? 0 said yes. 5 said no. And then number 7, do you concentrate when you read? 5 said yes. 0 said no. And 8, do you study English when you have free time? 5 said yes. And 0 said no. Here is the bar graph for the chart that we just looked at. 0, finish reading a book that they don't like. 0, always finish reading a book they start. 0, pronounce English well. 2, study in a library. 2, make lists. 2, write on index cards. 0, underline main ideas. And 5, concentrate when they read. And 5, study English. Because this bar graph only will show the answers, the yes answers. Break. Okay, let's take a short break. I did want to give some announcements about enrolling in an online class. I do have some openings in my schedule and am happy to meet with you to discuss if we are a good match for us working together as a private ESL online teacher and student. So if you're interested, go ahead and email me at adultseslonlinelearning@gmail.com. And if you want to learn some more about my services as an ESL online teacher, you can check out my website at www.adultseslonlinelearning.com. Great. Thank you. Okay, here is a short grammar focus review for how long, for, and since. Use how long plus present perfect to ask about something that started in the past and continues to the present. To answer how long questions, use for with a period of time, 5 months, and since with a specific point in time. Monday, for example. Here are 2 questions. And then on the right, answers. So let's start with the question and then the answer. Number 1, how long has Alex lived here? He has lived here for 2 years. Okay. Number 2, how long have you known Alex? Answers. I've known him since January. and 4 with a period of time, for example, 5 months, 2 years. And since is with a specific point in time, since January, since Monday. Okay, and then we have 2 more charts. In the first chart, it says past participles. We have regular verbs and irregular verbs. The regular verbs begin with live. Live, lived. Wait, waited. Work, worked. And now we have the irregular verbs. We'll start with be. Be, been. Have, had. Know, known. Speak, spoken. Teach, taught. Time phrases. For 2 hours. For 1 year. For 5 months. Since 6 p.m. Since February. Since last year. Let's practice. We're going to complete the sentences, use the present perfect in the question, and we will use for or since in the answer. Here's our first example. Number 1, A. How long has Manya been in the computer lab? B. Since 6 o'clock. Number 2, we have the verb know. Number 3, work. Number 4, teach. Number 5, live. 6, have. And number 7, wait. Now let's review 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's read the examples 1 through 7 now that they are completed. Number 2, how long has Avi known Bella? For 4 months. Number 3, A. How long has Kayla worked at the library? B. Since September. Number 4, A. How long has Mrs. Bateson taught at the adult school? B. For 20 years. 5. How long have you lived in Canada? B. For 1 year. 6. How long has Omar had 2 jobs? B. Since last year. 7. How long has Pete waited for the bus? B. For 1 hour. We will have a set of conversation cards to practice. And the directions say student A will ask any question to student B. Student B answer the question and then ask a different question to student C. Student C will ask a new question to student A. After you respond, then ask your classmate, how about you? The first question asks, how long have you lived in this city or town? Number 2, how long have you known your classmates? Number 3, how long have you known your best friend? For example, student A, how long have you lived in this city or town? B, I've lived in this city for 6 weeks. How about you? I lived here since I was born. Student how Student B, student C, how long have you known your best friend? Student C, I've known my best friend for 6 years. How about you? B, I've known my best friend since 3rd grade. Student C, A, how long have you known your classmates? A, I've known my classmates for 1 term. How about you? Student C, I've known my classmates since March. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope it helped with your learning English and independent study. Feel free to email me at adultseslonlinelearning@gmail.com for inquiries about private lessons, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.